Releasing music but just not getting added to Spotify official playlists. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you're missing. Do you look at other artists who don't have as good a music as yours, but for some reason the Spotify curators favored them over you and added that artist to Spotify official playlists? Well, imagine being added to a major Spotify playlist. Imagine what that would do for your career. You'd start earning an income from your music, and I mean a significant income. And you'd start to build fans. You could potentially go on to get millions of streams, and it will start to validate all of that time and investment that you've put into your music career. Some artists we've worked with have been added to some of the biggest Spotify playlists. I'm talking like New Music Friday, All New Rock, R&B UK, Rap Caviar, New Pop Revolution, and the list goes on. In fact, comment below which is the perfect Spotify playlist for your music to be added to. After working with these artists, a pattern emerges. There are three things that are significant and do play a role in getting added to a Spotify official playlist. It's no coincidence that these artists have been doing these three things. You're probably blaming the labels for owning a share in Spotify and having Spotify in their pocket, but the truth is, that's not the case at all. The labels aren't investing any more into Spotify, and they already have their audience. Spotify have a mass audience and is the most popular streaming platform. So if anything, Spotify have the labels in their pockets. And to prove it, look at New Music Friday right now and have a look at all of the artists that are on that playlist. All you have to do is go to the release itself, and at the bottom it will tell you who it is released through, and look at the percentage of major label released artists on there. You'll find that it is somewhere between 30% and 50%, and that gives up to half the playlist for independent artists or artists that are signed to non-major labels. The topic of this video is how to get added to your first major Spotify playlist. I'm talking a playlist with over 100,000 followers. Those flagship playlists where you go to the browse section and you go to the genre and it is one of the top 5 playlists that everybody listens to. Spotify are constantly creating new playlists for emerging artists. They're creating playlists that are niche and allow emerging artists a chance. Yes, they start on 0 followers and it takes a while for them to build up, but at least when you get added to one, you know you are on the radar of one of the curators. And the only way to get on the radar of the curators is by filling in the Spotify for Artists form. I've already done a video on how to fill in the Spotify for Artists form, so I'll link that down below so you can see what we put in the pitch, which got New Music Friday among other official playlists for this small emerging artist. What you need to know is, for my 3 points, you need to understand it from Spotify's point of view. And I know that's difficult as an artist because all you really want to do is just make great music and just get it on a playlist and have people listening. But to really understand how to get added to a Spotify official playlist, you need to see it from Spotify's point of view in order to make these points work. The curator's job is to make this playlist the best experience possible for the person who is paying for Spotify as a service. They need to make it a good experience and also get as many streams as possible on the playlist. Because Spotify as a business, they're competing with the likes of Apple Music, Deezer and YouTube Music, who are all hot on their heels to try and take their market share. So when a user clicks the playlist and has a scan of the playlist, then they want to see that they recognize some of the artists on the playlist. So if they are a rap fan or a rock fan, they're going to look at which artists are on the playlist and they want to have heard of most of the artists, because then they know, is it a good playlist, and they know that it is worth listening to, and that's what they feel like listening to at the time, and therefore they go and stream it. If they take 40 tracks because they are good but no one's heard of them, the chances are the user is not convinced to stream this playlist and will go find another playlist. So this all comes into account when deciding to put you on a playlist. There are 3 things that the curators are looking for, and the first one is, can you build a fan base? Can you show that you have the ability to build a fan base? When they go onto your Instagram, which you connect to your Spotify profile, Are you showing that you have fans? Are they engaged, or have you just faked your numbers? Are you putting up pictures of venues where you have sold it out and you have fans wanting to take pictures with you? Or are you just showing pictures of you with a rented Lamborghini? The second thing is, are you worth the investment? Are you putting out consistent good music? Because a lot of artists will put out one track and expect an official playlist. And maybe it did get on the radar of a curator, but for first release, they can't just put you on a major playlist and hope that you will release again. You need to prove to them that you are going to improve release after release. So if you've put out a single, an EP, an album, are you going to put out again, or are you going to just quit your career because it didn't happen or it was just a side project? They need to know that it was worth the investment because they have limited slots available on these playlists. So are you going to keep releasing because someone else could have had that slot? And if they give it to you, what are you going to do in return? Are you going to release again? Are you going to build on the momentum that it gives you and become an artist that they want to continually support? Or is it just going to be one release and you give up? So you need to show that you are consistently releasing good music. And in Maddie's videos, she says that you need to release singles on a regular basis. And this is one of the major reasons why, because you can show your progress release on a release. If you have an EP or an album, some of your best songs will just get lost in that collection of songs that you've released. My third point comes back to user experience. Have you done your bit for Spotify? Have you filled in your bio comprehensively? Does your image look good? Because when people are listening to the playlist, your artwork comes up. They don't want terrible artwork when people are listening to their playlist. So you make sure you've got good artwork, a good cover photo, and also a good collection of pictures. This will make their platform look better and then their playlist look better. Get a professional photo shoot done if you need to. You could even use the new Canvas feature, which is a looping video which people can watch when they are listening to your track. Some artists even put hidden messages or meanings within these looping videos to complement the messaging in the track. So those are my 3 points, but I have one bonus point for you. One major point which the major labels are doing right now. And that's if you ever get into the viral charts, you get added to a major playlist and then you get added to your country's viral charts. What you'll know about viral charts is you move up and down your place on the playlist. So the more streams you are getting in real time, you can overtake artists on that playlist, the more streams you are getting. So my best advice to that is if you hit the viral charts and you're running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or you have an engaged audience, don't link them to your track, link them to go and stream on that playlist. And then you'll find that because people are going and streaming on that playlist, you will move up the charts. And that will get you more streams and have an exponential effect. And you might even end up #1 in your country's viral charts. If you're wondering if there's any exceptions to these rules, or perhaps you're able to get around them in any way, the only way I know is through the EDM genre. I find that EDM, you don't need as big a social media presence and fan base to be able to get added to a major Spotify playlist. It tends to be more about your music and your reputation in the industry. So if you are an EDM artist, then look at collaborating with other producers to potentially get your first major playlist. And then you get on the radar of the curators. And when you release again on your own, you will get added to a Spotify official playlist or even a New Music Friday because you've already been tagged as an artist who has been on an official before. So share this video with your bandmates, manager, label, whatever it takes to be able to get them to focus less on pitching and trying to get the track in front of the right people and follow these guidelines to be able to get a Spotify official playlist and stay there and grow, because it's not what you do on the platform. It's not about getting your track to the right people. It's about growing yourself as an artist as a whole and creating a good user experience and being an artist worth investing in. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more music marketing videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.